Greetings and salutations, my name is Gabriel, and today we will be continuing our playthrough of Warhammer 40,000 Dawn of War. When we last left off, the Chaos Sorcerer Sindri finally got his hands on the key to the artifact. The artifact we now know is called the Maledictum, which just so happens to contain, dun dun dun, a Chaos Demon, an imprisoned one. And naturally, it is obvious why a Chaos Sorcerer would want that, and we will go into that a little bit over this episode. But we also know that Sindri is getting to Isidore, which is not great, because it seems our librarian friend may indeed truly fall to chaos, but we will find out this episode. Let's jump straight into Mission 9 now, okay, folks?
Tartarus is a planet gone mad. Over 60% of the population has fallen to the Orc forces, and what's left of the Imperial Guard are fighting a desperate losing battle to protect those that remain as they leave the planet. The traitor Imperial Guard we encountered in Louvre-Mar are not the only ones. Nearly 25% of the Guard has treacherously turned on their former comrades, forming maniacal blood cults that ambush and carve up their fellow Guardsmen. Certainly, I have seen the powers of chaos affect the minds of men, but never so many at once, and never so quickly. The Imperial Navy holds orbit, and the Blood Raven's own battle barge, the Litany of Fury, awaits a call from me to send transports to pick up all Blood Raven forces on a moment's notice. We are prepared to leave this doomed planet. But before we go, there are things we must do first. Put a stop to the forces of chaos, and destroy the Maledictum, or die trying.
The universe rewards those willing to spill their life's blood for the promise of power. Sindri! What, my lord? The traitor Imperial Guardsmen have fallen. So quickly. I expected them to last a bit longer. Some of them have betrayed our position to the Blood Ravens. They're on their way here, now. Continue chanting. I shan't be long. The circumstances you mention are divine providence, my lord. Everything is as planned. Once I dispense with this last obstacle, you will have that which we have plotted and schemed to achieve. And if the Space Marines should arrive before Providence graces us, then we shall play the good hosts and indulge them in a bloody feast. At all costs, however, keep them from interfering. This is a delicate process that cannot well afford any more interruptions. And, might I advise you, throw everything at the Blood Ravens. Everything. Their every contribution in this matter is paramount, especially when we are so close. Now, where were we? Ah, yes. Power demands sacrifice.
Now you know what we fight and why. We will launch a two-prong assault against the temple with the help of several guardsman units who remain loyal to the Emperor. We must stop our adversaries from uncovering the Maledictum.
Come with me. You have new orders. We know of a hidden way into the temple. Tell no one else. It is a surprise.
We must wrest control of the 4 relics from the vile forces of Lord Baal.
Yes, Lord.
We cannot stop until they are ours.
Reporting for duty, sir.
The captain has
The
gone to
Emperor
secure the
protects.
southern flank, and left it to us to breach the main defenses.
Yes, sir.
We will not fail him. Is this understood?
Ready
For
to
the
serve.
Emperor.
The Emperor protects.
Here to serve. I shall obey.
Reporting, sir. Ready to
The
serve.
relics are sure to be well
We're here.
defended. If we cripple the Alpha Legion's infrastructure, they will be no match for our might.
Hello? Oh, fantastic. Great. Sorry about that, folks. I had a slight audio hiccup issue, but that's fine. It turns out there was just a lot of dialogue between Gabriel
We're here.
and Toph, basically. You didn't miss
We're
anything.
here.
I just paused it. That skip there will probably be me just pausing
Reporting,
to fix
sir.
the audio
Reporting,
for
sir.
a moment. I'm actually really excited. Okay, so we've got 4 objectives, 4 different relics. Our objective is to try and capture all of them, which has me a little bit nervous, because in prior missions, when we've had multiple objectives, it's oftentimes meant multiple armies. We are dealing with the Alpha Legion, one of the fallen legions that defected during the Horus Heresy, and was known for their Primarch Alpharius and Omegon, aka the twin Primarchs, who were capable of bestowing their Primarchs with some of their enhancements, allowing them to take on their form and stuff, which was very, very dangerous, because it meant you never really knew if you killed the real Alpharius and Omegon. So that's just, terrifying, because, an unlimited... But not unlimited, sorry, they weren't as powerful as Primarchs, but you never knowing whether or not you actually got, your target is problematic. Well.
Yes, sir.
Right, so we're going to be going with the similar strategy to what we did to the last mission, because I'm not, but this time we will be doing so because we'll be awaiting Gabriel, who supposedly will be reinforcing us from the southern flank. So until that happens, I'm going to be playing it mostly safe, and we are going to try and secure our home base first. Already, we're seeing incursions from the Chaos Forces, so that just means I want to try and get our defenses up even quicker. I don't really know what strategy to implement yet, because I don't know what we're going to be up against, but
I will do as
we'll
you
deal
ask.
with it as it comes to
I am ready
pass.
to pass
For
judgment.
now, though, we are going to be focusing on
At your
securing the
command.
area. The Imperial forces they've gifted us, unfortunately, seem to be incapable of capturing points, which is why I've had to delay and use scouts to do it. But we'll make do where we can. Now, we know from personal experience that as good as the Chaos Space Marines are, we can beat them. Unfortunately, we also know from personal experience that the Imperial forces, aka the Guard forces, are respectfully
Yes,
not
Lord.
as good, not that great. They're just not good.
With all due
They
haste.
get stumped very easily, and we really want to avoid that. So we are mostly going to be using them in a defensive capacity, and we will be giving them grenade launches, because from what I remember early on when we were fighting the Orcs, grenade launches had the biggest effect. Now, once we have the area secured, we might begin doing some scouting operations, but not a moment before then, because if they're already bringing in Chaos Forces to attack us, I do not want them to be swamp us, so we need to build our forces up as soon as possible. But already taking a preliminary look here, they've got elevated ground. We're probably going to have, that's going to probably force us to go a very specific route to get to them. So we're probably going to need
I await
some
your
more armored
instructions.
troops, or we're going to need superior numbers just to take one of those points. And that could be a challenge, but it is not one I believe we will be incapable of overcoming. But for now, we need to focus on our base's economy and getting our hands on an actually securing this location.
Scouts awaiting orders.
Especially considering they just seem to keep coming. But as long as it's just regular infantry for now, we should be good. Yeah, we should be good.
The Emperor protects.
Are you Chaos or bloody Tyranids?
Let us secure this location and then take the fight to the enemy.
Oh, Gabriel, you're here. Finally. It only took me being
Ready to
swarmed
serve.
by every single horror the warp could spew up for the past... I don't know how long.
Emperor protects.
I swear, if I have to pick between, like, 3 units of Imperial Guards or 1 unit of actual Space Marines, I will pick the Space Marines every time. In truth, this changes very little, but at least now we'll have multiple avenues to deal with things. In truth, it's been a struggle, but I'm hoping Gabriel can make a difference. It'll be great. Honestly, part of me has been resisting, very poorly resisting, the urge to just take all the Imperial forces, their tanks, and the Marines, and just hurl them at the Chaos forces, simply to be rid of their friendly fire. I don't know what it is about these Lehman Russ tanks, but they seem to be more... They seem to take an almost sadistic glee in shooting their own units. It is tedious to the max. You'll notice I have this one up here, specifically positioned in front of my own turrets. That's for a very good reason.
Following orders.
Shout out to the Chaos forces on this, though. They have been really cool. Everything from Devastator Marines to, like, some corrupted Space Marines, the Horrors of Sindri, the Blood Cultists. We've even had Lord Bale show up a few times, swinging that scythe around like the Chaos Lord he is. I'm not actually sure where Bale originates from, but I have to admit, part of me is curious for the sake that he's using a scythe. And one of the main traitor legions I remember that used a scythe was the Death Guard, who were a Chaos Legion that fell to Nurgle. But he very much looks, he doesn't actually look Alpha Legion for the record either. He kind of looks like Chaos Undivided, or like maybe one of the Black Legion. But he's probably Alpha Legion, who just stole a scythe off of one of the Death Guard. I don't know. Lore.
Position secure.
As it stands now, though, we are going to...
This day shall be a glorious one.
With Gabriel here now, I feel a lot more comfortable branching outwards, so we're going to start using some of our Imperial Guard forces to push in. But yeah, like, it has been a genuine slugfest down here. The entire time we've been pretty much forced to just hold steady, just keep the enemy at bay, and it has been a fight. They have thrown wave after wave after wave at us, but we have done a pretty good job, if I do say so myself, of holding them back. The tanks have been, okay, as much as I bemoaned their friendly fire, they have done a very good job at also helping us, especially since the enemy have come in such large horde-like waves. Unfortunately, they just do not stop, and but the friendly fire has also been a rather large detriment, as well as it has inflicted upon us our own set of losses. But now that Gabriel's here, I'm hoping we can bring this back around.
Direct me to the injured.
Part of me feels it's important to note that I don't fully trust Toph still. Not just because he's Inquisition. In fact, as far as Inquisitions go, I have to admit, I could do without Toph's incessant need to, like, hide the truth, but that's part of the course of physics. The reason I don't trust Toph, and this is actually both cool and a little bit hypocritical of the Inquisition, the Inquisition have been known to use the forces of chaos. They have used, quote-unquote, warp foulness before. In fact, there are some who will use the whole... they do it so on the basis of, you know, fighting fire with fire, but that doesn't change the fact that the Inquisition itself has been known to take advantage of chaos artifacts in their possession and use them to enact their own goals. Which is why I feel it's important to note that there is, in fact, the Maledictum is an imprisoned demon. Now, what type of demon? I don't know yet. If I had to guess, I'd probably say something. Considering this is Alpha Legion, there's a good chance that it might be a Changer of Ways. For those of you who don't know, that's a Zinchian demon. Like, they're like a weird bird thing. Then again, Lord Bale doesn't really seem like the one type who would be interested in a Changer of Ways demon, but maybe he doesn't care. Demon's a demon at this point. But, there is a lot you can do with a demon that's imprisoned inside of a machine. Like, that is the entire like, there is an extremely large
This
faction
day shall be a glorious one
in the
for
Chaos
Imperium.
Forces. They're the fallen Mechanicus, who have pretty much spent their time in the warp creating terrific, and I mean terrific in the bad sense, these horrible amalgamations of machine and demon, these chaos engines, if you will, that are truly terrifying to behold. These, man, these Lehman Russes are losing even to bloody Predator tanks.
Reporting for duty, sir.
Yes, most beneficent one.
Sorry, I got off track there, but yeah, no, that's why I don't fully trust Toth yet, because the fact of the matter remains, we're still looking at an imprisoned demon, and that means that whoever, that there is, it is basically a massive, unaligned power force to whoever grabs him. Whoever gets it, gets control of the demon, and whether it's putting that demon into a machine, sealing it in a weapon, or changing it into a possessed, creating a possessed unit, a possessed entity, which for the record is terrifying because it essentially means that there is a warp entity given physical form that can exist on Earth without any of the warp fuckery that's normally required to have a chaos demon in the material plane. There is a good chance that Toth fully intends to take it for himself. I mean, he's talked a good game, but in his eyes, it wouldn't actually probably be considered a betrayal, mind you, because the Inquisition has done it before. I don't know of the full ramifications faction-wise for this, especially considering the Inquisition works so close with the Grey Knights. Another fun fact, I also actually am not a big fan of the Grey Knights, but that's for a completely different matter. But yeah, I don't know how I feel just yet, if I'm being honest, because there's a lot up for grabs here, and it'll be very interesting, in my opinion, to see what happens in the end. I have to say, for an older game, I really am loving how much entertainment value I'm getting out of this. I mean, this game is much older than other RTSs. There have been many that were released prior to it, but there's just something about going back and playing this classic Dawn of War game, getting back into this setting. I mean, there's been a lot of Warhammer 40k games that have released since then. I mean, there's Deathwing, Gladius. Very recently, there was the Dark Tide one. But yeah, it's nice going back to this oldie goldie one.
Yes,
I have to
most
admit, I am
beneficent
curious
one.
though about what Sindri's final goal is. Obviously, he's probably going to betray Bale. There's no doubt in my mind. Just the way he gets annoyed every time Bale shows up. There's a very strong chance Bale's going to get betrayed. Oof.
Praise the Emperor.
Man, these Terminator Legions, they do work. They definitely do work. But yeah, luckily for us, the Chaos Forces seem to be pretty much still focused on the primary base that Toth is manning, which is to our benefit, because honestly, with just Gabriel and 2 legions of Terminators up here, it would be not impossible for them to overrun us. But now that we've got the space bridge being built, we will soon have the mobility to attack wherever we need to. So, for the time being, we're gonna play it steady. But as soon as we get the chance, as soon as we can, we'll be pressing our assault.
the instrument of his will.
Faith and duty. Follow me into battle.
So,
Space Marines, advance.
not gonna lie, for our first Chaos base, I was expecting more resistance.
By my command.
Ah, there we go. I was wondering where they were.
My fate.
We're gonna try and lure those back to our Predator tank. Man, I'm not gonna lie, seeing some of the really cool demonic units that the Chaos Forces have access to really does make me want to actually
Enemies
give
of the Emperor's drawn breath.
have a turn at playing the Chaos Forces. like I said, I might do so by playing a few rounds of skirmish after we finish the campaign playthrough. We'll see.
We will destroy the enemy.
Yes.
It's all a matter of what I really feel like is worth showing at the end of the day. But we shall, yeah. We'll let Gabriel handle taking that tower. We've got the space bridge built now, so we can actually start taking advantage of the ability to deploy units where we need to. This base is relatively secure in the sense that if we lose it at this point, well, actually, we'd be hard-pressed to lose it, because like I said, we have the ability to reinforce it very rapidly now.
Predator at your command.
But yeah, like, to be honest, this battle has been, so far, it's just been us fighting a lot of listening posts and the occasional enemies scattered about. We've been taking advantage of our superior range a lot of the time to pretty much hammer the enemy before we even get into combat with them, which has been very effective. So it's probably what I'll continue to do. Hard difficulty definitely translates. The harder difficulties definitely translate to a greater expenditure of time, I've noticed in the campaign. Like, for sure, I could see definitely how if I wasn't, my forces weren't taking such heavy damage from specific attacks, I would definitely be better off just forming a armor convoy, or even just a swarm like we've done in earlier missions of diverse Space Marine squads, each focused towards a single type of damage. But on these harder difficulties, I've definitely noticed that it's much more opportune, I would say, to rely on a tactical diversity amongst your units, specifically so that you can overcome whatever force is specific for you. Although, right now, yeah. I am mainly focusing my attack squad around Terminators, which are anti-infantry, the Predator tank, which is anti-armor and building, and Gabriel is there to handle any overwhelming force with the orbital bombardment, as well as his Emperor's Will ability, which enhances damage and defense. And, wow. Okay, maybe I spoke too soon, because they really do have a sufficient number of armored units, but, luckily for us, they're focusing more on the Terminators than they are the Predator tank, which is giving the Predator tank plenty of time to do the damage it needs to without sustaining too much heavy fire in return. But it seems we're finally going to we're closing in on the first of the relics, which I'm excited about, because it means we are getting closer to finishing our objective. As stated in the beginning, though, it is important for us to take enemy objectives and steal their resources where necessary, so I am taking time for the Terminator squadrons to, of course, capture points as they go. But nothing wrong with that, because it just means we can do stuff like this more often.
Command me. Your end is at hand. Fate is eternal.
So yeah, I did bring I'm going to be using a similar combo to what we've used before, a Hellfire Dreadnought and a regular melee Dreadnought. Specifically, so again, this provides us with a alternative to our Predator tank, and it also gives us another powerful anti-armor, anti-infantry unit in the form of our regular melee Dreadnought. Because they have not let me down, honestly, Dreadnoughts, this entire game. As soon as we get some relics up and going, though, we will be looking towards getting Land Raiders if necessary. Because after the last mission, where I watched them single-handedly curb stomp anything that stepped to them, I am very eager to put them to use once more. But yeah, just even now, looking at how much damage... Ooh. That's very chaotic. Even now, looking at what this what 3 of our armored units can do, I definitely feel comfortable stating that we shouldn't have too much trouble if we can get our Land Raiders up and going.
Yes. Objective flight. I am ready to serve. Again.
Yeah, so we took one relic and immediately the counterattacks happened. We had Assault Marine Squadrons, Devastator Marines, regular Chaos Marines, and these big boys show up and immediately start bombarding us. So, yeah, that was hectic. I'm unfortunately had to multitask that, so it's just basically me flicking between 4 places on the map a lot, so I'll probably skip over it because it was giving me a headache. But now it's time for payback. Something tells me it's not going to let me just roll up here and bombard these little guys. Yeah, no, I can literally drive into it, but I can't shoot them. Aggravating, but fair enough. Luckily, we did summon in those Dreadnought units. They did a very good job of helping us secure places. We did end up actually losing some of our listening points because of the how quickly they came storming back in. So, and these devastating Marines are just driving me mad, man. They just do too much. Honestly, it's
of his will.
it's fun to play, but I'm having a hard time commentating because when it's quiet, it's basically just me moving things where I can. But as soon as it kicks off, I never seem to be fighting in just one place anymore. It's always multiple fronts. I'm always having to multitask and be aware of everything that's happening around me. And Lord Bale's back. This is the 3rd time he's come back from the dead to attack me. This is a true Chaos Lord right here. And he's got the horrors of Zinch behind him, throwing their little fireballs. Luckily, those fireballs are definitely not anti-armor because they are doing nothing to that Predator tank. Truthfully, yeah, like I said though, it's a big map with multiple objectives like this. It kind of pays for me not to get bogged down focusing on single things, and unfortunately hotkeys, if there are hotkeys, I have not found them. Like, just to be clear, I am aware that a lot of the time RTS games like this come with command keys or hotkeys that can be used to differentiate squads and allow for a quick and easy commanding of multiple units during the army. I have checked, okay? I could not find them, so either I'm too dumb or they're not here. But yeah, as I was saying, there hasn't been a single instance for the majority of this game where it's been a single enemy, a single fight. It's been just non-stop in my opinion, and I am digging it honestly. This is what a Space Marine incursion onto a Chaos base should be. It should be purging, it should be fighting, it should be subterfuge, because we're not facing any old Chaos Forces here. We're facing a fallen Traitor Legion right here, and one that was known by Alfarius no Magon, the specialists who were known for subterfuge, sabotage, and trickery. So I am actually happy to see that they are making use of tactics, specifically the Horrors of Zinch seem to be the ones that do it the most, but teleporting behind me, the Assault Marines do it quite a bit too. It's frustrating, but it should be. Yeah, our Marines are just taking a beating. It's been rough. It's been rough, but they've been doing a good job of holding steady. And the Dreadnoughts, though, it was definitely the right idea to pull them in to reinforce the area because I shiver to think of what would have happened if we didn't. I can't believe I've had that relic without a post on it this whole time. It could have been taken at any point. Yeah, see right there, that was a prime example of what's been happening. The Horrors of Zinch just pop in and immediately begin throwing those fireballs, and those fireballs, I can assure you, are anti-infantry. They do a decent amount of damage to pretty much anything made of flesh.
I am the instrument of his will.
But we don't have time to slow down or slack off. We need to keep attacking. We need to find enemies and push in. Despite the fact that I do need to also defend our first primary base because the attacks there haven't stopped. No, they have not. Devastator Marines and Assault Marines and Chaos Marines have been making appearances. But yeah, it's been crazy, and I'm digging it. I don't want a bloody attack on a Chaos base should not be a simple matter. It should be one that requires extreme prejudice. And if I had the option, to those who are in the know in the Warhammer universe, the Imperial Guard has a specific armor unit that I'm quite fond of. It's called a Basilisk. If I had the choice, I would literally subsume this entire area in nothing but Hellfire and Basilisk shells. just to blow this place to kingdom come, because this has been a non-stop affair, a seemingly endless, bloody beatdown from which there is no coming back. Why can't I build it? It's right there. I don't care if the
Yes.
Give me a servitor with legs. This one's bloody useless.
Here to serve.
You little Gumby.
I shall obey. As you will.
But yeah, like, honestly, we're probably going to end up losing some of our armored units at some point, but I'm fully prepared to build new ones. I mainly just want to get, oh my god, it's still coming. I really do want to upgrade to Land Raiders, because as effective as our Predator has been on the armor units, it'll be really effective to have a tank that can deal out 2 different types of specialty damage to two different types of units. Mainly because I'm pretty sure the Devastator Marines classify as a medium armored individuals, so I'm not sure if the Predator tank has been doing a terrible amount of damage to them. Holy crap, they just keep coming. Luckily, we've got reinforcements. Now, the reason I'm spawning them here is so they have a chance to have Gabriel attached to their tank, as well as begin upgrading themselves, because there's not much point sending them in as tiny squishy babies, because all that's going to happen to them is they're going to get annihilated by the first Devastator Marine that shoots at them. Hoo boy, hoo boy, hoo boy, hoo boy.
We bring his will. We will destroy the enemy.
Bloody hell. Oh no, there goes our first dreadnought. See, actually, here's a good point. These big clawed walking, I don't even know what they are, to be truthful. They are obliterators, defilers, I have no idea, but they are definitely intimidating looking. They are a prime example of what Chaos armor units are all about. Like, I'm not saying they're demon possessed, but they're probably demon possessed. But yeah, like, look at it. It looks like some malformed Malkevius between a dreadnought, a tank, and like, I'm sure if you peeled back some of that armor, you'd find fleshy, rune-carved flesh inscribed with demonic etchings that have just been stuffed in there with fibrous enhanced muscles. Oh, there goes our Predator tank! Oh, and Bale's back again. It just doesn't stop. And more Horrors of Zinch. Oh my word. Our Terminators are definitely pulling their weight. Our Hellfire Dreadnought is doing what it can, but it's not really meant to be in the melee to do its best, so... See, this is another thing what I mean. I should have been building those gun emplacements like 2 minutes ago, but I forgot to, because I'm a goof.
Walk softly and carry a big gun.
Get in.
I have awoken.
This day shall be a glorious one for the Imperium.
Luckily, though, as long as we have the space bridge here, or the orbital relay, I feel comfortable in saying that we probably will have a hard time losing. Poor timing on that. Poor timing.
Here to serve.
Yeah, we're gonna just keep building upgrades, and we'll press the attack as soon as we're ready for round 2. Or we can be ready now. That is also an option. Definitely an option. Yeah, you can summon your little demons from the warp all you want. I will drop an armored bloody army from the heavens. Again, we're sticking with the same format we went with before, except this time, instead of a Predator tank, we'll be mixing it up with 2 of our frontline Dreadnoughts. Again, we'll still have the Hellfire Dreadnought, but seeing as they seem to be favoring Marines more so than those heavily armored Walkers, it seems that we'll be better off using the Dreadnoughts. I really feel like I should know the name of those units, why can't I remember it? Oh, right, their names are in the bottom right-hand corner. Gosh, darn it, I can be silly sometimes. I don't like censoring myself. I want to swear. I want to swear, damn it! Next time I see one, I'll hover over it for a second. Check what its name is. I feel like that's information I should remember, but honestly, that bottom right-hand corner is filled with so much pop-up information that a lot of time I just end up ignoring it.
I am prepared.
Objective locked.
Probably not the best thing to say, but it's the truth. It's a lot, okay? It's in my face all the time. See, this is what I needed. As effective as these Terminators are, and as badass as they are, I still think the Dreadnoughts are the better unit. Not sure I should compare the nah, that's too nerdy. I was gonna say I should compare the cost benefit between a squad of Terminators and a Dreadnought. I don't care what the cost benefit of it is. I know the Dreadnoughts are better because I said so.
Faith and duty.
Before we go for that relic, we've been getting hammered by waves of guys, and something tells me that is mainly because of what's happening down here, so we're going to take care of that right now.
My aim shall not falter.
Oh, I didn't realize those big guys could get flamer attachments. That's badass. They're using warp flames and all that. Not that it'll matter when I blow them the hell up. Or are they just outside the radius? Ah, look at that. They get to survive for a little while longer. Lucky them. Oh! I was wrong. Those guys aren't Devastators, they're Obliterators. Not that that makes a huge difference. I do actually know a little bit about them from their looks alone. They are clearly one of the Chaos possessed units, such in the sense that they are Marines, I would assume, who have been overcome by a demon or willingly given over to a demon by a high-ranking member of a Chaos Force or Chaos Legion. Most likely Sindri himself, as he seems to be the most prolific Chaos Sorcerer this faction of this specific Alpha Legion seems to have access to. They're given in massive upgrades because of this. Like, you have to remember, the moment something becomes Chaos possessed by a Chaos entity, excuse me, not only is it gain different capabilities, but we're talking things like regeneration, enhanced strength, speed, mental fortitude, because now that it has a demon inside of it, it actually can have a very potent effect on other Psychers, but this also gives them a massive, massive weakness that they might not have possessed otherwise, and that is the Sisters of Silence and other blanks. Sisters of Silence and blanks are entities in the Chaos, in the Warhammer 40k universe who do not possess souls. Because of this, they are sort of like a kryptonite towards psychic energies and warp entities. Because of this, they are actually extremely prolific and proficient at dealing with you know, heretical Psychers as well as demons. And because of that, a demon-possessed Chaos Marine, like those Obliterator units, would actually be extremely vulnerable to one of these blanks. I believe they are also sometimes referred to as pariahs, but back to the topic at hand, now that we've taken out that second base, I feel a lot more confident that we'll be able to handle things. Not to mention, with the amount of relic points we're getting now, we will have more than enough resources to build ourselves a Land Raider army, and we will make use of it. One moment, someone's at my door. Thank you for your patience. Don't remember what we're talking about. We're being attacked. No, we are being attacked by more of those damn Obliterators.
I am prepared.
Toth will deal with them.
No one will
What was I
stop
doing?
us.
Our faith holds us.
Damn it. I've completely forgotten what I was doing now. We just took here, which is good.
Instrument of his will.
For the sake of security, we're gonna take out some more stuff while I try to remember what exactly we were doing. No matter, there's nothing wrong with us getting more missing posts. We'll need them in case there's a...
For the honor of the chapter.
Wow, there's two up here. Really close together, too.
My aim shall not falter.
What was I doing? I remember we had to take relics or something. Well, I'll quickly capture these points and think about what the heck I was doing. I'll probably do a quick cut. Be right back.
For the Emperor.
So, I went back and just straight up paused capture and reviewed, and now I remember what I was talking about. We were talking about demon possession and the Obliterated troops and stuff. And I think we pretty much covered for the most part. I mean, we could go into the different types of demon engines, like the Defilers, but they're pretty much the same thing. A cool point of note I would say is that if if Dawn of War did have aerial troops, we would probably get to see one of the coolest demon engines in my opinion, which is the Helldrakes, which are demonic warp entities that are imbued into I don't actually know if it's a specific machinery like a Valkyrie or something.
Yes, most
but
beneficent one.
they basically turn into giant robot dragon fighters. And I'm a big old nerd, so I love that shit. Ah, no, I said a bad word. You two be merciful!
At last, back to war.
Y'all ever remember back in the day, like way, way back?
To me, my brothers.
What's his name? Joji? Pink guy? Man. We didn't sense nothing back in the day, did we? I feel old now. I'm playing a game that's from like the early 2000s, so I feel like this is par of the course, but you know, I still feel old.
I will be there soon. I will purge.
Bro, that
the
one
unclean.
Chaos Space Marine, man, he came to the wrong neighborhood. There was literally 4 dreadnoughts squared up around him, ready to beat his ass in a corner. I'm not even trying to be funny right now, like, legit, can you imagine you're in, like, some terrible hive city? It's cramped, it's filled with smog, fire, and death, the screams of the dying are around you, and then you're just this poor trader marine. You sided with Horus because you didn't like Big E's, politics, and you got sick of Girly Man trying to tell you what to do, so you signed up with Horus. Next thing you know, you're on some hive city, and then you come around a corner and you see 2 bloody dreadnoughts there, just standing on top of like a crushed Lehman Russ, and you're like, oh no, that's a wrap for me, I guess, because as far as you think you can run, I think dreadnoughts, while they are not known for being fast, I reckon a dreadnought can get some speed.
At last.
I mean, they've got a Space Marine in them. They've probably got an alright sense of balance, I have to imagine.
By his word.
At least a decent enough sense of balance to where the point they could probably get up some pretty hefty speed.
Into battle.
Where's that in my Warhammer 40k cutscenes and video edits and 3D animated masterpieces? Show me my dead, like, ramming speed sprinting dreadnought going ham. Henry Cavill, make it happen.
To me,
Henry
my
Cavill
brothers.
is actually the second
Moving out.
Primarch that was erased by Malkador. Prove me wrong. God, that's an old meme now too, isn't it? The whole, you know, prove me wrong dude sitting at a table at like a university showground or whatever. Am I the only one that feels old? Maybe I shouldn't play old games. This probably isn't good for my mental health.
Walk softly and carry a big gun.
The benefits of being a useless druid, though, is that if I feel bad, I can just go cry into my pot plants that are already
For the
dead.
honor of the chapter.
Yeah, that's right. The name has meaning. The meaning is I suck at plants.
Under fire.
Ah, we lost another dreadnought.
Land speeder ready for
Why did I make this land speeder again? Oh, right, scouting. Scouting. Yeah. Probably gonna lose our other dreadnought, aren't we? Oh, bugger. See, I realized I could play it safe, but I've also realized that that was probably one of the main causes for our missions taking so long, which is why I've kind of just not given up, but so to say, but accepted that missions will take as long as they are going to, and it's much more to my benefit as trying to make these videos that I power through and take casualties as they come, which is why you will see me, like, why I've sacrificed so many dreadnoughts, no matter, even though
While
I love
the enemies
them.
of the
It's just,
Emperor still draw breath,
I
there
can
be no
play
peace.
safe, I can pull them back, repair them, and throw them in, and if there was a mission where I had to be super aware of my resources, you bet your sweet bippy I'd be doing that. But as it stands, that isn't a thing. There isn't any massive detriment to me choosing to sacrifice Marines as need be. Because, especially once I've got most of the map control, I have more strategic resources than I even know what to do with. But If there was a mission where I had to be aware of my resources
Even
and
in
every
death I
single...
still serve.
Bloody hell, is there another Defiler?
I
There
have
is.
waited
I'll send the
long
Dreadnoughts
for
down
this
there.
day.
Here's an idea, Terminators. If you block the Dreadnought from getting down there,
To
you're
me,
gonna
my
die.
brothers. Burn, heretic.
This is the... That right there was a good example of what I was talking about with the pathing.
What
See,
would you have
the
me
AI doesn't seem
At last,
to
back
know
to
how
war.
to properly maneuver
Die,
around
At last, back to war.
their own units, which leads to interesting things like that happening.
I have
Whew! I didn't know the Defilers had flamers. Hot damn. Real shit. If the Defiler doesn't win in a melee fight with the Dreadnought, I'm calling sus. Because they're armed with like what looks like the most ridiculously overpowered power claws. Why are you guys not getting in the vehicle? Just... Oh wow, they jumped him. Okay. I guess the Defilers are weaker than Dreadnoughts. That's interesting. I wonder if that's because Defilers are just a bunch of amped up demons stuck in a tin can, and the Dreadnoughts are actually like an honorable space marine who's got like years of experience behind him. Man, I don't know who's gonna win this. Hot damn, the Dreadnought pulled it off. That was impressive. Alright, that's the last one, I
The
think.
relics have been secured, but the fight is not over. We must give the Inquisitor time
Yes,
to penetrate the
Lord.
Chaos Sorcerer's foul enchantments.
Build routine 7
Translation. I hope you eliminated every chaos thing you came across, because you're about to play a defense mission.
The machine spirit is prepared.
I'm curious to see what they'll pull.
Heavy fire!
They'll probably just, I imagine at this point, if you haven't done a decent amount of map exploration, they would swarm you from all the dark parts of the map that are still covered by fogs of war. But seeing as how
I
we
am
did,
prepared.
we went the long way around, I can't imagine this being particularly difficult, and there's no other objectives, so, yeah.
He who
So,
stands with me shall
yeah, there
be
was,
my
there
brother.
was air resistance, pretty much, and I say that comfortably, even though we were attacked by, like, 3 straggler squads that weren't even fully reinforced. I mean, the most dangerous thing was an Obliterator squadron that tried to fight our Land Raider, but it took less than 30 seconds. And, yeah, so just skipped ahead to the end. There we go.
Sindri! Sindri! Lord Bale. The ritual failed to break the protective seal guarding the stone, but then I already anticipated it, not well. In fact, I counted on it. We require a larger sacrifice. It is time. Leave him. How dare you, sorcerer! My lord, never forget all power demands sacrifice. Thank you for yours. Sindri. There it is, as I promised. Yours for the taking.
Old friend?
Inquisition destroyed. Inquisition destroyed.
And with this, the die is cast. Gabriel is betrayed by Isidore, who has taken side with Sindri, who has betrayed Lord Bale. Very Chaos, very Zinchian. I love it. Right. Next time, we will be jumping straight into the next mission, which I assume will be Gabriel pursuing down Isidore and giving him the final mercy bestowed to all of those who betray the God Emperor of Mankind. I've been Decker Druid. Thank you all very much for watching, and I will see you all next time.